All right, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in the show. David Reyes, brilliant financial advisor. You can see him on The American Dream this Saturday at 10 a.m. And don't forget, if you want to visit him online, reyesplan.com. He's got his book. He hates it when I do this, but I give out his book for free. I know it costs him a lot of money, but if you want his free book, if you don't do the review, but you just want the free book, Successonomics, just text me free book, and I'll make him give it to you. Free book to 619-846-9333, and we'll get that out to you, 619-846-9333. All right, one of my favorite people in the real estate market, Linda Moore. She is our real estate elite out of the North County marketplace. She is also going to be on The American Dream this Saturday morning, 10 a.m., talking about the market, what's happening with interest rates. And she's here joining us in studio. Good to have you here.
Great to be here.
And we have brought one of your clients in with us. This is a first time we've ever done this on the show. So Michael Folb, good to have you on the show as well.
Good to be here, too.
So we're going to tell the story about you selling your home. Nothing better to help illustrate what's happening in the market than a real story of someone who's actually sold. But, Linda, let's start broad here. So you're going to be on the show, American Dream, this Saturday morning. What are we going to be talking about? What's going on in the market?
Well, it's very active right now. The last half of the year was very quiet. And since the interest rates have really stimulated a lot of activity, buyers are feeling the urgency to get out there again and really look at homes. And very active open houses, very active market right now. A lot of properties going pending, more multiple offers, and it's just really buzzing out there right now.
So now you are getting back to where you put a home on the market, you're seeing an influx of offers. How important is price? I keep hearing that a lot. It seems to be a common theme that price is important. I think where there might be a disconnect between the professional, as in you, and the consumer or the homeowner for this. But they're testing the waters because they know there's a lot of activity, so they're throwing out these high prices and they're letting their property become stale. It's actually working against them. So how do you price a property when you have low inventory and you're getting multiple offers and trying to get top dollar, but also not letting that property go stale because you overpriced it?
Yeah, that's a really fine line, not to price it too low, not to leave money on the table, and not to price it too high. So it's very important to have that discussion with the seller and pick an intelligent price that a buyer is going to feel is a fair price, but not be too low of a price. So we're not in necessarily an appreciating market where you can price yourself ahead of the market.
Mm-hmm.
You do need to be at a reasonable starting price.
So if you're genuinely looking to move, whether it's to move up, move down, move over, whatever it is, if you're serious about selling the property, not just looking to dangle a carrot out there and see who bites, pricing is very important, and Linda can help you do that. It's lindasellsmore.com, correct?
Yes, 2 O's in the more.
2 O's, your last name. So lindasellsmore.com. Looking forward to having you on The American Dream this Saturday morning, 10 a.m., Channel 4. Michael, so we just talked about selling real estate, right? So you just recently sold your home with Linda.
No, we sold it in 2010, but
Okay.
we really needed to exit that property to take some equity out and put the money to work somewhere else. And I thought, being that I was a real estate investor, this would be a real simple process. We could take care of it. And didn't realize how emotionally involved you get in selling your family home, and having a professional like Linda who was focused, who understood that it was about the transaction and keeping it smooth and not being emotionally attached to the thing or the people involved, really made a big difference. In fact, we had a huge variety of offers from the first offer we got to the next offer we got, and managing that process for us was difficult. Had Linda not been involved, I don't think this transaction would have even occurred, particularly at that time.
So this was your primary residence?
Yep.
So
it was located in Solana Beach. It was a good location, nice property. We had an inflated view of what its value was because we raised our kids there. And
so we just gave the example of you when I was talking to her in generalized terms, overpricing the property. I think everybody wants to do that, right? You love the home. There's an emotional attachment. Plus, you also, the financial side, you want to get top dollar for it. So there's a market, and then there's the marketing, right? And Linda tends to be very good at the marketing aspect, which can help squeeze more out of it. Now, you mentioned that you are a real estate investor. So I imagine that you have no shortage of contacts. There's 17,000 realtors in the San Diego marketplace. How did you meet Linda, and how does someone who has as much experience in the space anyway align with someone like Linda?
Well, our background is in commercial real estate and commercial real estate partnerships, and we saw Linda in the neighborhood and had actually met Linda in the context of many other realtors.
Now, this is Solana Beach.
No, this was actually in Encinitas.
Okay.
and very high-end properties in our area.
And she dominates Encinitas. Everybody in Encinitas knows Linda.
Everybody knows Linda, but it's the nature of how Linda Moore approached not only us, but the process of selling real estate. It was very focused. It was staying on the ball, staying with the primary goal of moving the property. And we had no idea that that was going to really come into play with selling this property. It was $1 million plus property.
Mm-hmm.
And there were issues that came up. There was like I say, there was a difference between our first offer and our second offer. And then Linda said, look, you have to stay focused on what we're trying to accomplish and how we were going to do it. Then the buyer had an issue with what I thought was minutia, some 3 or 4 inches of a property line. And we said, well, we're not going to get involved in that. I mean, just let them deal with it. And Linda said, no, you have to have a clean process. She put us in touch with the title company. The title insurance did what was necessary, got a contractor out. She walked us through these things that can be stumbling blocks because sometimes you think about $5,000 instead of the $800,000 or $900,000 that are involved in the transaction.
Yep.
So she was for us a godsend. We also had an element with what's called, I guess, staging the property. And we didn't want to repaint our house. I mean, we were leaving it, repaint it and plant this and change this and bring in all this furniture just for, a month or so. And it really made the difference. I guess in this marketplace, things are different. But
so do you do that on all your listings? You actually get in there and stage it and paint it? How many percentage of homes that you're selling are you doing that kind of work on?
Well, I always feel that preparation is 90% of everything. So I spend a lot of time with the seller making reasonable suggestions of some things that can really enhance the property, get top dollar, but not spend too much. So there are, several properties that don't need staging, that their furnishings look great and they're already occupied.
Are you saying that Michael didn't have a nicely furnished home?
It was vacant.
We were renting it.
You could say that about mine.
It was
Oh, you were
vacant.
renting it at the time?
We were renting it at the
It was
time.
vacant. So on a vacant property, Michael had a reverse floor plan, which in some homes there are spaces that are very difficult for a buyer to visualize what to do with, especially in those. Staging is very integral with that. And it also creates a place where people can sit and discuss the house and visit with the house and just really picture. And it makes the pictures look better, too.
Well, that's interesting. I got a question for you. So I have now you're talking about staging, right? Now
Yes.
let's switch gears and talk a little bit about maybe doing some improvements because you're talking about spending money to sell the property. People are selling the property to get money, not spend it, right? So that's kind of a fine line where you have to explain that to somebody. I have a friend, I have no idea how he does it, but he buys and sells cars online, like classic cars. He buys them on eBay and Craigslist, and he makes a killing doing it. And so anytime I need a car or I'm looking at anything, he helps me out. And so about 2 years ago, I was selling my car, and I had a little dent here, a little issue there. And I said, should I go fix these up before I sell it? He goes, no, sell it as is. It's smarter that way. I understand in real estate it's quite a bit different, where if you have issues with it, it does make sense to make the investment into, curb appeal, things like that. So where do you think it's a worthy investment, and where do you think you shouldn't? You should just sell it as is. So if someone has some issues with their property, what are some of the things that you're looking for?
Every house is individual, and I look at each one and make individual suggestions. For example, Michael's house had a gray roof, and he had a different color paint that wasn't the same palette, and we got a color that went with beige and gray and repainted the outside of the house. So I try to make suggestions that are those things that you would spend and get at least 2 to 3 times back or more on what you spend. So every house is different. And
what are some examples?
Examples would be carpet. Now, carpet flooring is very personal. So a lot of times people will, no matter what you put in there, they'll take it out. But if the carpet is really, really in bad shape or it has an odor or something, it's much better to spend $3,000 and replace the carpet. Paint colors to neutralize it, put something
That's probably
warm
pretty
up there.
inexpensive, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the average home. Sometimes we scrape the ceilings. Would be maybe anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000, but they may be able to get $50,000 more for the property doing those things.
Well, Linda, you understand the market very well, and obviously the marketing piece very well. And we have a live testimonial from Michael Folb, real estate investor, to help us with our message today. Michael, I appreciate you coming in here today. Linda, we're going to be seeing you on The American Dream this Saturday, Channel 4, 10 a.m. She's regularly featured in Pacific Magazine, Premier Magazine, and she is just doing big things up in North County. If you have questions about buying or selling a home, Linda is a very good friend of ours. Reach out to her, lindasellsmore.com. That's with 2 O's, her last name, lindasellsmore.com. Thanks for coming in here today. Great job as always, Linda. Appreciate it. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for tuning into the show. I want to remind you, if you have any questions, anything we talked about, interest rates, the financial market, getting a financial review, real estate, mortgage, all covered in one show. If you have questions with any of this stuff, don't forget, as your consumer advocate, I can be a resource for you. Visit me online, Craig Sewing, spelled like a sewing machine, craigsewing.com. If you want to text me your questions, the number is 846-933-619, area code 846-9333. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, 6 p.m., 1170 a.m., KCBQ.